What? I don't know if it actually turned back on. Hello? 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 It said streaming. It says streaming. I don't know if we're streaming. I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh. Oh my. Oh my.
Hello?
Oh me. Oh
Hello?
my.
Oh, there you are.
Oh my
I'm.
fucking
You're
god.
going live again?
I'm gonna throw up everywhere. I'm
Oh
gonna.
no.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
Where's. Oh. Oh.
No.
It says you're live again on Twitch, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Jack says we're bond. Why is it? No.
No. All the No, the fucking overlay
No.
everything.
No. No.
Where have you gone?
No. Okay.
What is happening to you?
Everything's awful.
The PNG's wrong. PNG's
It's
fixed.
okay. I
Everything's
fixed
fine
it.
now.
It's okay. Why is it so small? Why did it reset a bunch of shit?
Yeah, like it
It
just
reset
didn't
some things, but not
save.
others.
It just didn't save the shit that you've done.
No, because it reset. It changed my PNG, but then you guys are in the same spot that I moved you to.
Yeah, what the hell?
But the name tag that I had for Crow when I first opened OBS was like covering the entire screen for some reason.
Oh.
Even though it was tiny in the corner and I hit it before it died. Oh. Speak?
Hello?
Okay, there it goes.
Okay.
Guys, it's okay.
Oh,
We're back.
it's okay. I'm normal.
It's okay, everything's okay.
I'm normal. I'm normal.
Need Lego
Lord.
pieces.
Lord. Pain. What do I need? Goo Goo Chrome. Restore, please. Bring her back. Okay. We're back to normal. We're normal.
Awesome. We're normal.
We're normal.
Guys, it's okay.
Oh,
It's
please,
okay.
not normal.
It's okay.
okay.
We're normal.
Everything's
No.
good.
Everything's,
No.
It's sad that you don't like them.
everything's normal.
Why didn't that fucking one embed?
No, YouTube video I have saved for after. Go away.
Like, just tell me when you're all good. I'll start going.
It should be fine. It should be
Okay.
okay. It should be normal.
So, sorry, picking up my thoughts.
Sorry.
Well, no, you're good. It's not your fault. It's my brain has been scrambled today. Long day. I came home an hour before we started. So,
Same.
the one ritual I don't think I've said anything about on the Kalian and Inferian practice side was Spiritus Vivifica, spiritual revival, basically. I have it written down that it's a ritual created by both Ferox and Morsa, who are the goddesses of life and death, using a combination of both their magic to return a body back to the natural state of existence. So, again, resurrection, but it's not just like a life type thing, it's both a life and death type thing. The next little thing I have, which I'm still working on names for, runic studies. It's the crafting of runes and or epigraphs for the purpose of harnessing the natural magics of the world to enchant items, weapons, automatons, and craft spells. These are specific magic created by mortals, so it's slightly more difficult to learn, as many of the runes and epigraphs can do great harm if not used or applied correctly. So if you apply like a rune wrong on something, it could explode in your face. Just casual mishap. the focus of this magic is typically based in innovation and empowerment. The two core things that my brain has dealt with is specifically shadow splitting, which is an act of enchanting one's body with a series of tattoos to gain the ability to tear one's shadow from themselves. So, classic little thinking of my Naruto phase of shadow clone jutsu, basically, except this is a more physical thing. There are 4 stages to the tattoo, so the more stages you have, the more shadows you can produce. So, the other one I have like a little note on is like a firepower rune. So the act of inscribing a weapon like an arrow with a rune that will cause it to like catch fire upon shooting. My one character, Nikita, has inscribed not her bullets, she's got twin pistols in the stories. Not the bullets, but the gun itself with the rune. She has figured something out, funky out here. And that's how she's like a weaponsmith type deal. Story, I think I have a picture afterwards. Yeah. So, weapons, funny little twin pistols. I know my character Anjali in the story, she's got these fun little daggers that when you throw them and they impact something, it causes her to teleport. So, just like Shadow Mist teleport, she can go to the weapon itself where it lands. The drawing of the funny little tattoo, it's kind of like a prototype I made a really long time ago. The tattoo itself has an epigraph more than just runes. I think I used like the Elvish runes from D&D to test it. The saying there for the tattoo is something of like along the lines of like of one soul of one body, basically. Something to do with the soul. I couldn't find the phrase of what I read. And then like you have automatons and stuff like that. Like Safi is a little creature that you guys know of. That's what Lorik's got going on. And then like the biggest automaton I think in the stories is there is a funny little clockwork dragon hiding somewhere out there. But yeah. Other than that, the last one of the last basis of the magic system is core manipulations, which is the innate ability to use one's soul and life force to bend the natural world and reality to their will. It's the hardest form of magic to achieve without killing yourself or others, and has no written rituals to follow or forms of teaching. This is purely just instinct. So the focus of this magic is typically based in nature, elements, distortion, illusions, and reality. So a lot of your druidic and sorcery style type stuff would be under this specific category, along with like transformations. So, for example, you have like soul shaping, which is like the ability to reshape your soul into that of an animal. It's like the version I've come up with for like wild shape, for example, or cat form, as I have some knowledge of like World of Warcraft playings. Ignis is another thing that comes up. It's called the Ignited Soul, and it is something you're born with. So you're just inherently attuned to like fire type magic and stuff. Visio, Alter Visage. It's my version of like how to describe changelings and how that all works, because I've got a lot of changelings in the story. But yeah, so other little things going on there. But yeah, so you've got some rituals that you can mess around with, but they're pure instinct rituals. You got like your shape-shifting, shape-changing type things, and then like a lot of elemental-based people are able to just purely inhabit whatever their natural forms. So which is like the Ignis or like the Ignited Soul version. Nikita specifically is technically considered Ignis due to a string of what is it? She knows how to do some funny little lava magic stuff. So, but yeah, she's fun to play with sometimes. And then I have like some extra stuff in there for other characters. Like I know Lillian, been working on Lillian stuff a lot. She is definitely like a core manipulation type magic person. Because she can't do anything else other than that. But yeah. So quick little magic rundown. Quick little continent rundown and land stuff. But yeah. I have some concept art of what Inferus and Calum look like. I don't know if this will show up on stream.
The pinboard. Pinball.
But yeah, so Calum is very much looked at as like this golden forest type deal, while Inferus is like dark wood and red leaves all over the place. So, but yeah. Little pinboard there. I'm gonna get off the pinboard because the pinboard hurts my head sometimes. So, but yeah. Quick crash course. Last little bit of world building before I start losing my mind over characters and what everybody's got going on in their life. So, been thinking a lot of Estelle and Callan and Lillian lately. So, but yeah.
Nice.
I know trying to come up with spell names and stuff is the most annoying thing. That I'm having to deal with as of late. But so far, I think it's just the runic practices I have to figure out. Mainly. Yeah. Crash course.
Crash course.
Good crash course.
Yeah,
Gonna crash.
Crashing!
Yeah.
Crashing!
I'm gonna crash.
Oh, that was the one thing. I know I mentioned Guinevere is called something. Guinevere is called a savant, like a soul savant, specifically because by the end of her life, as in quotes, because she's still around, she can do most of everything under the Kalian and Inferian practices as well as runic studies. The core manipulations is a very, like, big question mark. But she's able to do a little bit there. So, but she's probably the one character that knows how to do all of it. She is the equivalent to, like, a god, though. So, but yeah. Short and sweet.
Question.
Sure. Hit me!
I like having the different types of magic having different sort of mechanics to access them. That's cool.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, so I've looked at a lot of different magic systems from a lot of different places. And the one thing I knew I was like solid set on is like, because the main, like, a big concept throughout the story is that like your soul is your life force. That is the core of all your magic, all your life, all your memories. Like, that is everything. So to lose that is like death. Instant death. Not instant, technically. So having the core manipulation stuff, that was a set thing. Like, I'm like, you know how to manipulate your own soul in order to power yourself? That is some wild shit right there. And then I was thinking the other day, like, what does that pertain to? Like, who can do that? And what can do that? And then I was thinking about, like, Lillian. And I was like, technically, yes. She doesn't know how to fucking use it. It's just innate natural ability. So, but there's a lot of little funny little magic things in the world that's like innate ability. So, but yeah. And then I was like, I have gods and I want to make sure the people can make stuff themselves as well. So that's where the other two came from. So, still trying to figure out if it's a hard magic system or a soft magic system because that shit confuses me. Confuses the hell out of me.
I was about to ask, just like, okay, is there anything that magic can't do?
Yes.
Okay.
So I do know that much. There's definitely things that magic can't do. Because my brain is going, because it's like a power exchange system sometimes. Like, you can't resurrect somebody using the spiritual revival ritual if there's nothing there to power. So if they don't have a soul, because the soul is a physical thing, if they don't have one, well, fuck it, just throw it out the window. Like, there's nothing to do there. So they need a soul in order to live. So, it's like a big point of contention. And it's also like, if the soul is fractured or shattered or something happens to it physically, you can't do much. It's hard to repair that. And that becomes a big question of like, how do you do that?
Well, that's a limited resource. But I mean, like, literally, is there like, are there things where it's like, there's no spell for that? Magic just, even if you had like infinite soul, magic can't do that.
That is a question. Magic can't do that. There's not a spell for that. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard to say at this point in time. Because I'm like, my brain is going, yeah, there's some things that you just can't do. Without a ritual, without a spell, without, like, without just the power in general. So, yeah, that's something I'll have to think on. Trying to think on it now, I'm like, what can't you do? So, especially like trying to think on it without spoiling things.
Yeah, not to use your time to talk about my project. But like months ago when I did the magic system rundown, I pointed out that like, you know, you can use magic to like hover things and move them, but you can't teleport. Or like, you know, like you can make illusions, but at least my thing, you can't actually like alter someone's mind or anything like that. Like,
summon something.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. Is like the ability to fuck with people is very strong. So I know that much. Like, you can, but again, it's like it's a core manipulation, so that's hard to achieve without, I don't know, injuring yourself or totally offing the other person. So, I know I fuck with that type of stuff a lot when I wrote Anjali's story, because she's got some funky illusions and distortion and reality shit going on there. So, but that's all because someone figured out how that core manipulation works. Like, how do you make illusions? So, because that wasn't really a thing. Like, you couldn't make illusions like that. So, it wasn't possible. And then someone decided, well, how do you make it possible? So, but a lot of...
Isn't it possible, you stupid
bitch? Also, with sort of the ritual type of magics, where you like, the Killian and Infurian practices, where you have to kind of get like a cleric, a specialist for a thing. Like, how hard is it to find certain clerics for certain practices? Are they like, Like, are they a lot more sort of present and easy to find, or is it very much like, okay, trek across the fucking land if you want to do this?
Funny enough, because, and this is a question Casey asked me a long time ago, was like the belief that like, oh, gods need followers to exist. That's not a thing. Like, they're called gods because that's what people see them as, but they are entities in and of themselves, just out there and existing. So there are clerics of abundance for like one god, but then there's like other gods who have nothing. So, and they don't need anything. They're still there. They're still beings. So, but the clerics are very hard to find for them. So like, a lot of people, for example, follow like Ferox and Morsa. And like the bigger gods, there's a lot of people who follow Lunis because she is like a goddess of dreams and stuff like that. So, she's very easy to follow. Nemus, Ventus, they're very, like, these are all very easy gods to follow because they're more well known. But like, someone like Mesorum, who's very like in the shadow type work and stuff like that, there's far and few between people who know how to do any type of ritual he's written. And those rituals are very, very volatile. Like the remembrance one I have, which was created by Lunis and Mesorum. The reason why it's volatile is because Mesorum's rituals are dangerous. So because he for his stuff, you're very close to a core manipulation, but it's more structured and streamlined to make it safer, but there are still weird outcomes. So, but yeah.
One question that I had is, you mentioned something called an epigraph.
Yeah.
What's that?
An epigraph, how do I remember so I was looking up like runes. I don't want them to just be runes. Runes feels too simple. Make them epigraphs. Epigraphs are phrases and or strings of it's phrases. That is the simplest way to explain it. An epigraph is a phrase that describes something or explains something. So, instead of just a couple of runes stringed together, making one thing, an epigraph is basically you write out an entire, phrase, kind of like, what are those called? I'm forgetting what they're called.
The enclosed instruction book.
No, those are the weird phrases. What are they called? Oh no, my brain. That's gonna bother me for the rest of the night. But yeah, the simple definition for an epigraph is like a phrase, like a full written out phrase instead of a singular word. So, for example, the big shadow splitting tattoo that I kind of designed a long time ago and I want to redesign, that all the runes on the back spell out an actual phrase. I'd have to like go in and look because I cannot find where I put the but I'm pretty sure that entire all the runes down the back spell out an epigraph, basically, just like the phrase of like my soul is of my body and of my mind, and my shadows are a piece of me, or something like that. Like, it's an entire phrase instead of just like, yeah, that's a rune for soul, and that's a rune for that. So, but yeah, so I was like writing out these little definitions of the magics, and I was just like, runes and what? Epigraphs. And I looked up what epigraph meant. I was like, what does epigraph mean? So, and I was just like, actually that works, because it reminded me of the tattoo, the shadow splitting thing that I made. So, but yeah, seems to be my phrase tonight. But yeah. Um,
Ugh.
but yeah, I know there's like specific runes I have here. Like contact is put on a lot of this stuff comes from Anjali's story, and I'm trying to dance around certain things. Contact comes from the little raven feather necklace that she wears. Nikita inscribed all those necklaces with a contact rune, so they worked like funny little like walkie-talkies basically. So you can tell that the base was D&D, and I'm changing it slowly to something of my own. Power core is another one that's like, how do you power an animaton? This. Because that's all runic stuff. The runic stuff is definitely like, that's where your inventors come in and stuff like that. This is where people start making stuff, do stuff. So instead of other things, like there's obviously like general invention and stuff like that, but how do you make stuff do the funny magic stuff? So like, how do you animate an entire automaton, like a clockwork dragon automaton? So you runic it to shit. So that's a combination. I have like an entire little children's book thing written for that. That's a combination of like engineering and like magic slapped onto it. So yeah.
Does magic, I wrote that, how does magic affect people? Like, does doing a certain kind of magic for too long affect you in any way? Like if you were like doing some like icy thing for too long, you get like fucking frostbite or some shit.
I imagine yes, because I know
what are the negatives to balance out everything?
Can you get
I know
sickness?
what are the negatives to balance, like my brain goes to Nikita and how her shit works. She knows how to do this funny little like lava magic. She's just born with it. She's like, I don't fucking know. She doesn't know how to control it. She will burn herself most of the time if it gets too out of control. She is burned in the books. I believe she has left a scar on Anjali due to it as well, because her body itself is basically just fire imprisoned in a person. So she runs hot, very warm. She's like this furnace of a thing. So like she can melt the snow around her if she's standing in the snow. She just, and again, it's like if she touches someone and it's running a little more rampant, if she doesn't have it tamed too much, she can hurt them. I haven't played a lot with like ice-based stuff, so Nikita's like the primary one. I want to talk about Anjali so bad. Lillian, she also, a lot of her stuff nature-based and stuff like that. I know Estelle is a better example. If you use the soul shaping, like the transformation stuff too much for like animal stuff, you get stuck that way. So, especially if you just let your soul settle. So, a lot of the soul shaping is making sure you can shape it back to who you are. So, yeah. Belle has gotten stuck in that place before. It's hard to fix that shit. Lillian is like the opposite. She's got a lot more nature stuff going on, other than like beast stuff going on. I know she has these funny little tattoos. She's got it around her eyes specifically of vines. When she uses more of it, her body just kind of grows more of it, basically, if I remember correctly how I've described it. So it started at like her eyes, like a funny little mask, and then it kind of went down her neck and down her back. I have concepts for like this funny little root system or tree tattoo somewhere, hiding somewhere in my Discord stuff. Like Estelle had where are these pictures? Still had a tree root system down her back. And Lillian's got some like fern stuff going on down her back. And it just kind of grows the more magic she uses. So it's like a plant growing under her skin, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely, especially the core manipulation stuff, definitely like the more you use that stuff, the more it's like, ooh, yikes, okay. In my mind, how it's been working. As for like God stuff, it's controlled. Runic stuff, you can just blow somebody up pretty easily with that. So I would talk about Anjali, but I can't talk about Anjali, and I want to talk about Anjali real bad. So
The wild.
but I can't. What?
The wild.
The world?
Is it an orb?
The world? Is it an
Is
orb?
it a globe?
Oh. Fucking hope so.
Do they live on a globe?
I think.
How? Okay.
So I think.
How is your map fit on a globe?
Oh. Fucking beats me, man.
Is
Me
there
and
more?
Pal went over this.
Is there more ocean than you show, or?
Yeah, are you showing the entire Earth right now?
Or are you
I
just
wanna
showing
say-
all of your things collected into one spot, or are they like more spaced out? Is there more?
I wanna
ocean?
say they're
Those
more
are very
spaced.
close.
Yeah, I want to say they're more spaced out. This is just how I drew the map. When I first drew the map, I did that method of like, oh, you pour rice on paper and trace around it. Did that. Came up with this shit. So I want to say like it is definitely more spaced out. It feels definitely close together. I don't see it being this close together.
You're working.
So-
This is giving very shattered Pangea right now.
That was a little
it's
bit of
very-
the concept.
It's
So-
very, very close together.
Yeah.
So either these are like massive fucking land masses, or your world is very tiny, and it's a lot of land mass and very little ocean, or this is one side of your globe and the rest is just water. Wherever
Yeah.
you've been on a spot.
So, I do know I have the concept down of like Astium Mescos, the Isles, and Eliscoso. Those are discovered. Everything else is undiscovered. So there's also the concept of like there could be more. I do not know. As far as the people exploring got was the southern point of Alessandria. So
How's the
But-
travel? How does someone travel? How advanced is your world? Do you have
there's
cars?
boat. No, God no.
You
There's
have
boats.
guns.
So that is like a far and few between thing. That is not a mass-produced thing. That is like Nikita was fucking experimenting and she fucking made some shit. So off in the side corner of the fucking world. She's my little inventor. But as for like the automatons, those are definitely like the big invention. So I like to think because my brain just goes nuts. So
Are there, okay, I'll hand you this. Are there automated carts? If you don't have cars, but you have automatons, what is there a reason why people wouldn't make something that moves on its own? To ride? Oh,
I know
fuck you.
that's I do think
Ah, my fucking desk broke.
oh no trying to remember stuff I've written because I know that's part of a story that I haven't developed fully yet and that I have to rework and stuff like that. I think I may have trolleys at some point. I don't fucking know and or remember. I just know something's going on.
I'm prompting you
Somewhere.
to think less magic, more practical
Yeah.
about your world, to flesh out things more.
Yeah. I in
You
in a
have
world where
lot
you
of
in a
magic
world where
down.
in a world where you have a lot of magic, it can be very fascinating to go, okay, No magic. How do you do this then?
Yeah. So
Is everybody able to do magic? What about the people who can't do magic?
What
How do they get around?
what stops someone from doing magic? What stops everyone from knowing spells?
Yeah, like
Um,
the logistics. You have to get into that. Not now.
Not
yeah.
now.
You know, I just have like the base core 3 things of what it builds on. As for like the other stuff, I know it exists. My brain just I put it in a story somewhere and I haven't combed through all of that. So,
Because I know there's a lot of traveling and things like that. So then it also goes into like how does it differ between different like every place? If like places are as close on this map as they are, like do they have great influence on each other, or are things more spaced out? Like does it take forever to get from like one of these islands over to Mescos or something like that?
mhm.
And what is their influence on each other? Like, how do they culturally differ? Because if you're making a whole world, and if it's meant to be the entire world instead of just a little corner, it's you have to consider like how close they are to each other and how much they affect each other in that aspect. So it's not like, yeah, you can be all the way up in Astium, and then it's like the exact same as if you're all the way down in Koso. And like how the same buildings, the same like streets, and like same clothing and everything like that. Or is it like super far and it's very different?
I know the 4 cities. I had to fix myself. I was like, there's 4 of them. 4 primary cities that I have. I do know I do note there are differences between each one. So, like, what is it? Sarmasta is very much like my head. Very much more like elegant elven architecture and stuff like that. They're very much like magically inclined. A lot of their stuff is dealt with magically. Slovenia is like port city, dark, dreary, kind of just that like shady shit happens here, but other things are also going on there. Katona is very much deserty type vibes. To double check all of that. So Colterra, a lot of naval like boat stuff, Viking stuff going on, inspired for oh my god, I'm brain farting there. But I know Colterra is like my little explorer nation because that was the last place that a lot of the people who are considered explorers of the world landed themselves. So, and I have Eliscoso, lots of plains, lots of savannas. I know I have that funny little ice ridge there. So
yeah. It's not something that I'm looking for an answer for now.
yeah.
But I'm just prompting you to consider thinking about more so like you have so much of like magic and gods and everything set down, and you explained all of that to us, but what is like the actual like dirt and stone of this world? What are like what's the normal people like? Because you can like you have a lot of characters, but show us your setting instead of like you've shown us gods and where they are and like their realms and stuff, but what is like this physical world?
Can definitely get into that. There's a lot.
Like, give us ground to stand on.
Yeah.
And where everybody is.
that is something I can definitely. I have concept arts somewhere that I've picked up here and there as I've written the stories. I have descriptions in the books of a lot of places. I can definitely get into that. I think there's only like one
immerse
or
us
two
in your
places that I'm
creation.
like, well, I don't want to like go full like.
Well, don't
okay,
like
let me just
spoiler, like don't
yeah.
spoil shit. But like, you've made a world. You've shown us how it functions magically. I want to know how it functions as a world.
Big world. There's so much going on.
We know that it's like a magic world. We know that there's these godlike beings that control things, but what's the dirt?
The dirt.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's much to consider.
Much to consider.
And I can definitely go into it. I just feel like I don't want. It's not gonna be spoiling stuff. It's just like what places. So because
Yeah.
on the map itself, I can do Saramasto, Colterra, Sylvania.
I would
figure
say
out which
don't
one it is. So
think about places that you don't go. If you
Okay.
don't go there, you don't need to think a goddamn bit about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
the main places.
Yeah, it fucking exists. We only go to these cities,
yeah,
though, so that's all you gotta
yeah.
know about.
Think about it in order of how you're going to actually encounter it.
Definitely the 4 main cities and the Kerliguian Valley. Those are the 5 primary places.
Mm-hmm.
So, because those are the ones that I was just like, yes, I know the difference between these. I know what's going on in each one of these. There are other places that are mentioned or passed through, like some of the small towns and villages. But
Yeah, things like that. You don't need to know anything more than surface level, like where they are and like a vague idea of how the people are.
yeah,
And like other things like places where you actually spend the time of your story is where like you want to have the meat.
you can definitely
don't-
do that.
You have your whole world, just narrow your view into what it is that you spend your time at.
Start pulling apart the books like a madman. Because I know the first one is all centered in the Winter Court. I don't exit it. I go to like think Nixie's Gate.
Yeah,
But
which
we
I
don't
feel
touch
like
anything else here.
I feel like
So-
Tadon, you have a very good understanding of how your world, like how that world exists
Mm-hmm.
and where everything is. Another question: Are they on an orb? Is Tadon? I don't know. I picture Tadon as like a disc.
So Teardon
It's under.
is
It's the land.
it's
Yeah, I know
under-
the entire
it's
thing about the land
underground.
or the mountain. Yeah, blah blah blah. But like physically, is it in a cave? Can I just go in a cave and I'll be there?
yes, it is physically underground. It's like what is that fucking movie? Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh.
Is it the
That's
actual
what's
center
happening
of the
down
earth?
there. That's a big question. No, I don't
Is it
think
next
so.
to? I know your entire thing about the hole. Is it next to it?
Yeah, where's the
No.
hole? Hey, where's the
Actually,
Where's the hole?
You can't ask that on Twitch.
my brain went, "Where's the
You're not
hole?" And I was
supposed
just
to
like,
ask.
funny enough,
That's supposed to say
Where's it?
shit like that. That's TOS.
technical location for the hole in the center of the world.
Is it the
I-
actual center?
No, it's not the center.
Are we a physical planet with an iron core?
I fucking wish.
Are we really?
This high concept, fucking weird
Can I
ass.
use
like-
magic to eat some lava?
Technical location for what is called the world soul location is the axis.
Is there a big fucking pit on the north and south pole that goes straight into the hole?
No.
Is your world a donut?
No. Sadly, no.
Sadly, no, we're not a donut.
Because the world soul is like this weird metaphysical place. So, I have an
Is the
idea
world
of what's
an
in
egg?
the world soul. What do you mean by that?
Is it an egg? Is it
No,
inside? If there's no
no,
molten
hold
core,
on.
is it inside?
No, it's an onion. It's
It's an
layered.
onion.
Remember?
It's got layers.
No,
The
the
layer
layers
cake.
is the realms.
So that's the
Oh,
realms. That's the
fucking
only way I can
fuck.
think about how to describe the realms. You
Is-
gotta think of it.
Are
as
there
fucking layer
other
cake,
planets?
Are there other planets? No, because my brain hasn't thought of that yet. So I can't answer that
Are
question.
there stars? Are there stars in the sky?
Yes.
There are other planets.
And there's other planets somewhere out there. Have I thought about any of them? No.
It's okay. You're not going to those other planets.
You're
You
not
give a
going
fuck.
to them. Who gives a
No.
fuck? Who fucking cares?
Don't ask. The stars do some funny shit. So, because I think I've personified all the stars. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Are the
that's why
stars
my brain
real?
is
Are the
like,
stars actual balls of gas, or are they gods hanging out?
They are other Astra
Is the sky a
hanging out.
hologram?
It feels like that at times.
Can I give the star a little kiss?
Is there a giant glass bubble around?
Are we in a snow
land.
globe?
Is
feels
there
like
a
it's-
firmament?
Are
A
we
firmament.
in a glass paperweight?
Glass paperweight.
Are we in a little marble on a cat's necklace?
Are we upon a dust on a flower?
You know, I've always thought of the world as like a body. That's where my brain goes. That's why I'm like, planet? I don't fucking know what that is. Because I've always described it as a celestial body or a body. It's the body of the fucking Astra that runs it, like a fucking circulatory system. So, that's where my brain is like, huh?
Are the continent moles?
Is there mole world?
Maybe.
Can I go to
Are
mole
these
world?
moles and freckles on a celestial body?
So I don't know, man. I wrote a
Are
sentence
we-
somewhere in one of the books.
Are
saying
we
that
the
all
gut
people,
flora and fauna of a celestial body?
all the
Are
people
we
in this
little?
world were like blood cells and the fucking shit happening, shit killing other things in the first. So, and the stars do something funny and funky that I
Okay.
enjoy the concept of, but I don't know if it works. So,
Well, that's why we talk about things.
my stars, I like to think my stars as like how people build constellations to like record history. So a lot of the stars in the sky show up when the gods do some fucking stupid shit. So
Do the stars only exist when gods are doing stupid shit?
stupid shit, God, I wish. No, I feel like there's more like, yeah, there's stars out there that represent other things, but constellations pop up in the sky when it's like, what the fuck did they do now? The gods have done a lot of stupid shit.
Does
And they're
that
the cause of a lot of problems.
does that then negate the entire possibility of navigating the oceans by star? Can we
Hmm.
no longer travel using the sky as a map on this world because the stars do
Ooh.
not exist?
That is
correctly?
a good fucking question.
Sextants ain't real. Okay.
Not me looking
Does
back
a compass
in my
work on this
mind.
world?
I'd like
If
to
we
think
do
it
not
does.
have an iron core,
Is there
a magnetic-
Yeah, hey, how's the magnetic field work?
is there a magnetic field? What is the gravity like on this planet?
Oh fuck.
Can you tell me the exact like rock composition layout of every inch of your planet real quick?
If you don't have a molten core, how is the planet warm?
Hey, can you like give me your social security number?
Can you tell me the numbers on the front and back of your card and the expiration date?
It's so interesting. Everybody's asking these funny ass questions. And I'm over here staring at this string of islands that looks like glaciers.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's up with that? That's a tear in the universe and no magic exists there.
Okay.
Don't fucking
The only
worry
thing
about
I can
that.
explain about that-
dude.
Don't fucking worry about it.
worry about it, sweetheart.
You go there and you're not able to cast any type of magic and no magic exists there. So how
we
you
take a nice
live
little
there is not
vacation?
possible. There, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I would stay far away from that place.
Okay, is
So-
it full of evil things?
Debatable.
Okay.
It's devoid of any life, so why you're there in the first place is very questionable.
Maybe I want to see a penguin. Do you have
Penguins
penguins? What are the
wouldn't be
animals
there.
like?
Penguins there? What are the animals like? What are the animals
I like world building.
Oh.
Sorry.
I don't know, there's a lot of funny animals. I think more about the animals in fucking Teardon than I do on the normal planet. Just like animals
Do
in
we
Teardon.
spend more time in Teardon, or do we spend more time here?
More time in Thyaenia. Teardon is a fun little place that gets locked behind a door for a very long time.
Alright,
because
think about
shit went
Thyaenia
down.
more.
Yeah.
Alright, think about Thyaenia more.
My brain has been stuck in Teardon for a while.
Nah, get out of there.
So.
Get out of there.
Okay, fine, I'll get
You're
out
not
of
there
it.
anymore.
I'm not there anymore.
It's okay, you're not there anymore.
Then you're gonna force me to think about all the other characters other than 3. So my brain's been thinking about 3 characters, and now
I'm
gonna be
asking
like,
you to give us solid footing on where we are.
I can do that.
Where we
do
are,
crash
what are
course
we
in the-
doing?
Yeah, we've done
Crash course in Thyaenia and all of its fucking glorious wonder of fucking cities. Because that's the only main places we really look at.
we've
The cities in the valley.
We've now done
So-
enough looking from a distance. It's time to really take us down there.
It's time to
Alright.
get us in there. Tell us where we are in this story. Like, and I don't mean, because I know you have gone above and beyond of, like, sequels, prequels, epilogues, and all of that. Like, just tell me, focus on the main story.
Yeah,
What are we doing? Where are we? Like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
I do want to say though, what you've showed us is very, very cool.
It is
I
very,
don't wanna,
very cool.
I don't want to spend too long going full fucking college crit on you.
Yeah. I love. You have done a lot of thinking on all of this, and I love that. But where are we? And I know also too, you've done a lot with your prequels and stuff. When comes the point where you think of them instead of prequels as the first books of your series instead of a prequel, it is book number 1.
That's already started.
Okay, because
That's
the way
already
you had,
there.
you're
So-
like, okay, this is the main series, but these are all the other books that come before it. The way that you do that is then, like, you're supposed to put out the main series first and have that going, and then you think about the prequels and put those out. You're starting at book 1, which is, like, the start,
Yeah.
the beginning of everything.
Those
in
thoughts
a
of having
sense-
a main series and prequels got thrown out the window.
Okay,
a couple
good,
months ago.
because
I was just
that's
like, yeah,
good.
no, fuck it.
That is very good because you weren't doing that. And this is very much kind of like a history book.
Oh.
You're giving us like a history.
Yeah.
First person account history book of your world is kind of like what your one is.
hmm I know that one's
I need to turn my
somewhat.
fucking heat down. Oh my god.
That first one is definitely like been the most pain in my ass type of development, because as much as it is a base block for the rest of it, because it's the catalyst, at the same time I'm like, not. First one has a lot to do with the ending, and that's why I've been working so much on it. So, because I don't know how people are going to react to the very end.
I think that's a worry about when you get it to it.
Y'all.
Oh,
That's part of your overthinking, babes. You're thinking too broad scope. You gotta narrow it down.
Yeah. Get narrow.
my narrow points are the other stories, and I'm like,
Get narrow. Come on,
what?
Flat Stanley.
Flat Stanley. The fuck?
Get narrow.
Flat
That's the third
Stanley.
one. Get Flat Stanley 3 getting narrowed.
Flat Stanley.
It's just like him folded up into an envelope.
I think he was folded up into an envelope in the first fucking book. So
Oh, whatever.
They folded him up and
Who
they
even
mailed
cares
him
about
off so
Flat
he could
Stanley
travel the
anymore?
world.
Who even cares about Flat Stanley anymore?
In this fucked up world, who gives a shit about Flat Stanley anymore?
I say that like sitting by a campfire in like a Fallout future.
When I was young, the biggest problem in my life was Flat Stanley. Now he's nothing to me. Jesus
Am
Christ.
I sinking in quicksand? Yeah.
Not so flat anymore.
I'm just like slowly descending into quicksand with the campfire.
I guess if we're narrowing the scope, it's time for me to go write instead of just holding it as a plot map that I made a long time ago. I think it's time for me to write a Stellan Callan story. Because out of all of them, that's the only one that I've written. Just a plot map.
Yeah.
TLDR. Get us in there.
Okay.
Get us in there. Get us in the meat.
Yeah.
Get us in the current time.
Yeah.
Get us in the current locations.
I could do that.
Show me the dirt.
It's not gonna be a happy story.
It's not. You're not writing a happy story.
You're not writing a fucking happy story.
That first fucking ground dirt story involves mass murder.
Yeah.
Leave the happy silly stories to me.
Yeah. Pal's the one here with the happy.
I'm the
stories.
only
I
one
guess Crow
doing
too
I'm
now.
the only one. I'm the only motherfucker here brave enough to do a slice of life.
I can't do
Crow's
it.
doing something happy
Who
now.
makes like functional worlds that are built on reason and logic.
I know.
Nico, how can we make this worse?
I build functional characters and then build enough functional world around them for them to make sense.
All
Jade and
right.
I are good at making terrible worlds where no one acts reasonably. And
Hey,
everyone
You know,
treats
I
each
like
other
to
poorly.
believe a lot of my characters
LOL.
are very happy on the
LOL.
outside of my fucking stories.
My characters don't act reasonably. They have reasons for the way that they act, but they don't act reasonably.
I didn't write that small slice of life story about Lily and Kina for nothing.
If my characters all acted reasonably,
They
there
have
wouldn't be a
happy
fucking
moments.
story.
All right,
Oh,
I guess
hey.
I'm the only one who writes god awful dystopias.
The only god awful
Hey,
story I have is a
We haven't
Stellan
gone
Callan,
yet.
and that's why I'm like, oh no, you want me to get into the ground dirt of the nasty bits? Yeah, that's the nasty bits.
I want to touch down on this planet. Put
And
me in
listen,
there.
I'm like-
Fine, we'll touch down on the planet.
You said-
I want to get down there.
I want to get down there. You told me most of the story takes place in this place instead of the other place. Put me in this place.
I will put you
Tell
in
me
this
about
place.
this shit.
I want to know where to get a good cup of coffee.
Where am
I'll
I going
put
for
you
my
in this
breakfast in the
place.
morning?
You know what? I'll put you in this place. It starts here.
I thought for a
So,
sec-
and I could
for a
give you
second
a
I thought you were gonna
blurb
zoom in
about
on
it.
the one that's labeled hell.
I'm gonna
Like, yeah, I'll put you in this place.
Hell.
No, here we'll zoom in on the book blurb of the where.
Yeah,
it
you have
starts.
all these blurbs that you were posting.
Yeah, you recently went
Read
through
them
and made
real
blurbs
quick.
for
I
each
didn't
one of
do
your
the last
yeah.
one.
Put me,
So,
give me in order your books.
in order.
In order your books.
Okay. Here we go. Hi, welcome to my red string map. This last thing I'm showing. And if anybody sees Anjali's name, ignore it immensely.
Yeah, last thing,
Um,
give me your books in order.
Okay, in order. Call
So
of
we
the
know
Void
what's
is the
going
first
on.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chain of events. Call of the Void is the first one. So you have Guinevere was created by the gods to be a queen, more specifically Queen of the Winter Court, and despite her childhood and anxieties that something terrible loomed on the horizon, as the centuries passed, she's like 500 years old, those fears fell to the wayside. That was until the fauna started dying at the hands of a power much higher than the gods in search of energy to satiate a deep hunger, and the Winter Court just so happens to be the perfect place to hunt. And then
I like that last sentence.
so, as you see, the chain, second set of eyes. What? I'm not gonna describe it or explain it. Leave it. Beast of the Wilds is our dirt ground foundation. Because after Guinevere, that door fucking closes and no one knows what fucking happened afterwards.
So that
On
was
the
like
night
prequel,
of-
and then this is one.
Yeah,
Right,
on the
okay.
night of Mayafin, a great fire broke out in the forest east of Hopewell, and a tremendous loss followed with no survivors. Until Estelle saved Callan from an angry mob 3 years later. From there, they both began to delve into the mysterious happenings behind Callan's sudden appearance in Thyania with no memory, and the massacre that killed Estelle's entire village. Truth after truth would lead to the shaky foundations of finding allies to assist in alleviating or instigating the coming war for the groves and the rightful justice that the Aleza tribe deserves. And yes, I changed Lillian's last name. So,
Yahoo.
third set. I'm still working on Lillian's, but this is as good as I got right now. Lillian was never meant to serve the gods, and no matter the amount of training she received, she had resigned herself to never being able to wield the magic her community desperately wished she would. Yet the plants and animals bent to her will with ease, and her community saw that as a bad omen. The same bad omen that led to the death of the Aleza tribe nearly 50 years prior. Oh, we have to go up to Anjali. I might have to fix Anjali's, but this is the one I like so far. Raised to be an assassin, but set free by the death of her sister, Anjali runs as far as she can from the cage that kept her prisoner for most of her adolescence, her mother. Now, given the freedom to fly, she meets an unlikely ragtag team of misfits that show her what it's like to write your own story for once, and to remember you can listen forever, but when you speak, make sure you're the loudest voice in the room. And... oh,
Yeah.
this one I still have to work on it. This is what I have. This is Reyna's. War is coming to Thyania. It will not be spurred by the people, but spurred on by the gods, and the Asher whose life depended on the balance in the world was set on the course of tearing itself apart long before the world began to crumble. Reyna is not the first to hear this, but she will certainly be the last. When her people become the target of chaos, she is forced to run to the ravens in the trees to find a solution, yet the solution may lead them all to the epicenter of where it all began. And then, if we go up and over, this one's blank because I haven't written it yet.
Yay!
But that's your order. You have Beasts of the Wilds. Oh my god, I'm moving stuff on my desktop. Whispers Beneath, The Raven's Call, The Lost Heir, and then the last one's called The Keeper's Light. I get to sit here and think about this crew because I plotted out their entire story, but I have not written a lick of it. I wrote the first chapter, and it's from the reason why I haven't written all of it is because I'm figuring out POVs, because the first one is written in Vivian's POV. So, and I'm debating on whether or not to pull the POVs that I've written in Lillian's story into this story for Estelle and Callan. Specifically Estelle. This is where the ground... this, Tear Dawn. This, we're hitting the ground running, and shit's hitting the fan. So, we have 2 connected ones, and then one that shows the other side of the story, and then one that pulls it all together. And then the last one is like, this is the end, guys. Figure out your shit. So, so I have characters.
One last question.
Yes.
One last question for me. I know you have a shit ton of stuff written already. Do you have like draft versions of these? Like all of these?
So there is how many drafts? There's 2 drafts of Call of the Void. This is Beast of the Wild is plotted. There are 7 drafts of Whispers Beneath.
Ooh.
Lillian's story pisses me off immensely, and that's the reason why this shit happened over here. So, because I kept looking at her and going, what is your issue? And then there's 2 drafts of The Raven's Call. There's 2 drafts of The Lost Heir. there is a half a draft of the Keeper's Life, because I started writing it and then I went, oh no, I have a problem I need to solve and I can't solve it in this book. So this one is plotted fully from beginning to end, and there is about 3 scenes in total written from it. Just do not have it. I do not have a first draft. So
But you know where it's all supposed to be.
I know every inch of it because of the way it is. Because I've written about half of it in Lillian's story, the other half in Anjali's story. That's the reason why I have their story separated. So, because there's 2 halves to a whole. And then the last piece of the puzzle in Reina's story. But this is where it starts. Like, this is the catalyst, but this is where it's like, okay, what was the consequences of the catalyst? Consequences were whatever the fuck happened to Estelle. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
That's good.
There's the reason why I built this.
Thanks, friend. That sounds great.
Purely because I needed all of this.
Wow.
My character chart.
That sounds great. Thanks, friend.
He thinks, man. He thinks.
Hey.
He thinks.
Thanks. Wait. That's all my questions.
It's on my quickie.
It's all my questions.
You're done.
Moving
Move on, please. My brain hurts. So
Give me dirt.
I'll give you dirt next time.
Yay.
So, you just gotta figure out what the dirt is.
Blow up your screen share.
My dirt is great.
Open up MJ's fucking Fantasy Plus, I guess, and
Oh,
How
yeah.
do I stop
Okay.
this fucking
Actually,
stream?
I changed my mind of doing this instead.
What? What? What?
It's in the chat.
What's
Yeah.
It's in the
happening?
chat.
Help! Help! Help!
video.
Help! Help!
All right,
Okay.
just give me
Baltic
give,
Sea.
give
Open.
me a god.
Give me a
God.
good guy.
Is this gonna get muted?
It's on YouTube.
It still might get
It's not copyrighted or anything.
Okay.
No copyright intended. All right.
No
I mean,
Copyrights.
it's not like made by a company.
No copy mites.
It was.
No copy
Oh,
mice.
it's ambient. No
Ambulance.
copy mice intended.
No copy mice. Alright, stream.
Go.
Share screen.
Hang on a second. Let me turn on present.
Just hold on. Just hold on. Jesus Christ.
Where is present? Silence.
Oh my god.
Queen never cry.
We never cry.
Oh, there it is.
Gimme. Gimme.
Seriously.
Working on it. Fucking annoying me within 2 days.
There it is.
Right. Annihilation
Get a-
update.
Oh, it weirdly didn't give me a fucking notification. Anyway, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hello. Oh, no, this sounds really quiet. I got to turn this up.
I have to change.
I have to turn up. Oh.
Got to turn up the
Got to
sound.
turn up my browser sound now that it's ambient sound and not music because it's a little quieter. There, that should be fine. Okay. Scare us.
So, quick recap. So, Annihilation is a TTRPG set in a dark futuristic dystopia in the twilight of a great and cruel empire. Once relics of the past, the kings, pharaohs, and emperors of the old world now rule with absolute power. and are effectively immortal. Billions suffer under their rule, and the line between man and machine no longer exists. You are one of billions of faceless creatures suffering in silence under this tyrannical regime. I like to kind of imagine this as like, imagine yourself as an insect crawling around within a giant clockwork titan. There's a quote here from a band that I really like. We are all trapped in the belly of this horrible machine, and the machine is bleeding to death. So there are 3 systems of progression in the game that I have solidified. They are mutation. So you don't level up in this game. You simply gain stuff, either via fights or we'll get into it. They are mutations, modifications, and equipment. Modifications are, to put it simply, stealing organs. Rather, in this world, you don't really have time to enhance your muscle with a good diet and, exercise. So the much better and much easier way to do it is to just cut off the arms of your enemy and replace your weaker arms with their stronger arms. And so this is the one of the main ways of progression. There are many new organs that have been developed that that will make you stronger. There are some that simply, there's simply just bigger muscle mass, or there are ones that will allow you to administer an electrical shock to someone when you touch them. If you defeat a sorcerer, you can take their body parts and gain access to magical abilities as well. Here we see over on the right, we see a kind of a heavily modified creature. So heavily modified they can't really even be declared as human anymore. Kind of armor-plated skin, pipes snaking around their body, so for better blood flow and respiration, so they can easier supply the muscle mass of their enormous bodies. And right down here we see a blinded miner removing the organs of a cruel overseer that they have attacked and incapacitated. So some organs are specialized and they require an actual surgeon to input. There are also some organs that are very hard to handle and you kind of need to be adjusted for them. There's a very low chance of corruption or mutation with these ones. Resources plentiful in all stages of the campaign. So they're not just going to be organs lying around, but as you defeat people, there's always going to be enemies for you to fight. And thusly, there's always going to be people with organs that you can take from them. So, next one is mutations. Mutations are random evolutionary or devolutionary occurrences within your body. Mutations can come in strange and diverse forms. You can simply, it could be something as simple as growing more muscle mass in one of your limbs, or it could be something like growing a tentacle, or bat wings or growing hard, leathery skin like a crocodile. They're very hard to predict, but they can grant awesome benefits. The difference between modifications and mutations is mutations have a chance of not giving a positive effect. There's a chance that you might get one that has a slightly negative effect. It's basically, with mutations, you have a higher chance of getting a better thing, but there's also a chance that you might get a bad one. While with modifications, you know exactly what you're getting no matter what. So it's kind of a gamble. Resources moderately plentiful early game, becomes more plentiful in mid to late game. So you might encounter, there are a lot of things that can induce a mutation. It could be something like picking up some kind of alien relic that has some type of malevolent quality to it, or it could be getting exposed to tons of radiation. There are a lot of miners will end up suffering from mutations working in these deep mines where you never really know what you're going to stumble across. You could stumble across just an entire room filled with toxic waste, and next thing you know, you have like bat wings. Do not fear mutation, embrace your changing form. So there's kind of, I want to encourage people to not get very attached to their character designs. Not that like you should make them boring, but I want to encourage people to go with the flow, to understand that you're not always going to have entire control over what your character is going to become. And that's kind of a good thing sometimes. You never really know what's next. And that's kind of how life can be sometimes. And finally, there is equipment. So equipment is pretty basic. It's just items that you pick up. They aren't like grafted to you or anything. They're just things that can be useful. These generally have a little chance of corruption unless it's some kind of artifact. Artifacts have a chance of causing mutations. Artifacts are basically just extremely rare, one-of-a-kind items that usually have some type of story significance. They generally have a variety of uses. It could be something as common as just, a mining pick, which you could use for a variety of things, anything from, prying open a door to caving someone's skull in. Or it could be, something as complex as a small firearm. Though weapons like that are very, very rare early game. Most of the time, unless you are playing as a gladiator, your first items or your first item will be something small, versatile, but ultimately kind of weak. Like maybe a trowel that you sharpen the edge to so it can act as a small dagger. Very sparse in early game, becomes more common in late game. So with this setting, most items are kept from the lower class to prevent them from ever rising up in any way. Like, you can't really fight against anyone if you don't even have objects like to kind of protect yourself with or to like kind of rebel with. It's hard to, stage a revolt when no one has any kind of shield. All right, and so one of the new mechanics that I'm kind of implementing is visibility. So Visibility, not to be confused with stealth. Visibility is basically how well you blend in with a crowd, how much you stand out in a public space. So if you have 6 arms and like a pair of minotaur legs and some giant horns sticking out of your head, you will be very recognizable. And so if someone is after you, then you're more likely to get spotted and attacked. So it's kind of a so it's kind of like a give and take. You can load up on modifications and mutations as much as you can and risk standing out, or you can try and kind of be as low key as possible and not take as many modifications. Those with extra limbs or expensive tools as well, clothing and stuff like that will increase your visibility. Obviously, if you're walking around, like the lower ends of the megacities, wearing fine fabrics, people are gonna start staring at you. So, yeah. So that one is not supposed to say other thoughts. That's supposed to say skills. So skills. I just wanted to create a list of your kind of basic skills. So there's strength, speed, and jumping are connected. There is reflexes. Reflexes doesn't involve running speed. Reflexes is how quickly you respond to something. So if someone lunges out of an alleyway at you and attacks you, if you have high reflex will determine how quickly you can whip around and defend yourself. There is will. I don't know why spellcraft is suddenly fucking merged with that. I did this on my phone, and my phone's keyboard has been acting completely insane. It's just been copying random pieces of sentences and then splicing them into other conversations. So willpower is effectively like your health. So as I stated in the past, your willpower is both your physical health and your mental health combined. So if you experience something horrifying or traumatic, like maybe a friend is being tortured in front of you, then that will drain your willpower just as much as someone, hitting you over the head with a rock will. There is stealth. Stealth is how well you can pass when you are unseen. So that's like creeping past a guard who isn't already aware of your presence. Hiding in the dark and making sure you don't make sound. There's finesse, which involves things like lock picking or like undoing a puzzle box. There is visibility, which obviously is the kind of the public version of stealth. So that's how much you stick out in a crowd. Technology is how much, I almost said technology. Technology is how much you know about machines and how good you are at repairing and using them. Arcane knowledge is magic. Crafting is just basic kind of putting stuff together and taking stuff apart. Cursecraft and spellcraft are two kind of unique things. So spellcraft is what magic, I guess, is supposed to be. Magic in this world is very kind of low magic. It's similar to Dune in how, or Warhammer in how it's kind of somewhere in between magic and psychic powers. But basically, spellcraft is the way magic is normally supposed to work. So you cast a spell and then it eventually peters out. Cursecraft is a corruption of natural magic, and Cursecraft doesn't go away. Cursecraft will actually get stronger with time, and so it's pretty dangerous. Generally, only the most wealthy of sorcerers know anything about Cursecraft. There's stealth, yada yada, finesse, visibility, science. That's just like chemistry and shit. History and piloting. So new factions. So the new player type or faction is the Outsider. The Outsider is a stranger in the campaign setting. They are foreigners hailing from usually small clustered communities with different customs. They might even be from another dimension. The Outsider is a skilled survivalist, and they come well equipped for their expedition, but their nature as an outlander makes them highly visible in crowds and to the cruel law enforcement of the setting. Usually, Outsiders have a very specific reason for entering the campaign. Maybe they are looking for a specific artifact in the city, or maybe they're looking to destroy the city itself. There are a lot of people who really hate the nobility, both within this society and outside of it. And there is also the Scavenger. The Scavenger is a resourceful explorer who lives in the deep dark beneath the megacities, making a living by salvaging pieces of discarded machinery and artifacts and selling them to local merchants. These Scavengers have good survival skills and are mechanically minded, able to repair simple machines even in early game. So Scavengers are good for more tech-minded people. They tend to live closest to the miners in the kind of the dark abysses that surround these cities.
Mm-hmm.
Starting campaigns. So this is kind of one of the last things that I just decided to insert is just kind of, things to think about when starting a campaign. Starting campaign begins with an event and an item. An inciting event that pressures your character to escape their current situation, and an item that can precipitate their escape. So maybe a friend of yours is kidnapped, or maybe a friend of yours is arrested for something that they don't deserve to be arrested for, and you now need to steal a crowbar in order to break them out of prison, and now you're both on the run. Things like that. Players should be encouraged to build a diverse group of PCs so their party has a wide range of skills. It's like you can play characters of the same group, and that can help kind of your characters have a pre-established repertoire with each other, but also it can help to keep a very kind of diversified set of characters, so they all have their own kind of useful things. Players should be encouraged to accept the gradual change of their character and their design. Players tend to be slightly resistant to the idea of their character changing in appearance. This is a game about change and embracing change. And I think, yep, that's it.
Cool. Very, very cool, as goddamn usual. I think the major thing that I really want to dig into is, okay, you've set up a very combat-focused game. And I am not sure you've told me how combat works mechanically yet.
So combat works it works slightly similar to Dungeons and Dragons, where everyone makes a roll when combat starts, and whoever succeeds moves to the top of the order. The only reason I haven't gotten into more detail about it is because I'm still experimenting with it.
Yeah.
And I just did not, and I just, frankly, this past week has been kind of hellish.
Real.
I have had very little time to do any kind of experimentation.
Very real. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, with also the game being very focused on the idea of body parts as something easily swappable, easily sort of play around with it. There is a space here. There's room for the combat to get like really granular. The way I wrote it down in my notes is just like, not just I hit, but I want to puncture the lungs.
There are certain weapons that I've been tooling around with the idea that there are certain weapons that are effectively designed to remove a body part before you have won the battle. So you could really quickly just like, give me that.
Ooh. Yeah, like basically on the fly fucking retooling someone.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. That's basically like every other question I have about how everything well, okay, I guess the other question is like, okay, did you cover properly how sort of gameplay wise how like magic, spellcraft, curse stuff works?
Sort of, kind of. I didn't do as good a job as I would have liked in my previous one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still kind of ironing out a lot of the lore about specifically magic. So I'm still sorry. My throat is just awful.
Yeah, you just have to talk about it.
So yeah, I'm still ironing out a lot of the kinks with magic, especially in terms of like lore.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So we do have
Yeah,
for some reason I thought we didn't have magic.
Well, it's like
there is
like
magic,
low,
but it's low
right?
magic. It's
limited.
Okay.
And it's closer to like the Force in Star Wars or psionics in Dune.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Well.
okay.
Okay. Well, let's speak on that. I'll put the same question that I gave to Lyra over to you. What can't magic do? What are the limits?
There is a lot that magic can't do. So it's very limited by just how many people you have working on a thing. If like the average person can't even do magic. Generally, you need a specialized organ. Like there's a couple of different ones that can allow you to do it. But there's like an arm that you can get that allows you to cast, basically just create a candlelight in the palm of your hand so you can see a little bit. But that's about all you can do. So there's this problem in this world with organ harvesting for the obscenely rich sorcerers. These sorcerers want absolute power. And so they find anyone they can find who is magically inclined, and takes as much as they can from them, and then uses their organs in their own bodies to make themselves even better at magic. But even then, there's still big limits. Like if, let's say, you wanted to start a forest fire, that is possible with a very high level sorcerer. But if you just had a bunch of of just basic people who really who only have just the most limited form of magical inclination, it could take anywhere from 5 to 25 people working on it to create a powerful enough spell to start a forest fire.
Okay, so people can like sort of concentrate their energy together.
Yes. Yeah, magic is kind of the opposite of Jane's world. It's very limited in this world. A lot of it also includes kind of repetition, kind of repeating the same processes over and over and over again. There's kind of monsters that exist in this world that are effectively the result of just repeatedly performing dark rituals on a person or an animal over and over and over and over again until they kind of turn into a monster.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. You very much set up a very solid world foundation, which is hard because now I think you're staring down the barrel of mechanics now.
Yeah, I hope that this week is going to be easier. Like, I won't go into detail because we're on Twitch, but I have a family member who is currently in the hospital, and I am all alone here, kind of like keeping everything together. And so and I have to make regular visits to the hospital.
Yeah, no, well, like, we're never gonna fucking fault each other for like not always coming here with the strongest fucking showing.
Yeah, I'm more explaining because
I'm not
I
saying,
said
like,
because
I'm not
last
saying
time I committed to having a structured mechanic system, and I don't have it, so I feel like I need to kind of explain why I don't.
Yeah, well, I called it the Year of Amelia with the thought that I would have wild magic by the end of the year.
Hello.
I don't think we're gonna fault each other for not always having the fucking and like I'm not asking you to come in next month with like I definitely know exactly how the combat system's gonna work now.
You better have an entire done game.
You like certainly I would
This
say
stuff takes time.
like see if you can put together a thing of like what you've tried so far. Yeah.
My big thing is I don't want to use the full array of dice. I want to keep dice usage as limited as possible At first I was like, I'm only going to use D4s. But the problem with only using D4s is
the numbers don't feel big.
They and your base gets pretty big the more the more you get. So if let's say like you have arm strength and you have a level 3 arm, so that means I'm doing this via dice pool rather than modifiers. So that means that you, rather than having 1d4 plus 3, you have 3d4s. That means that that your base roll is 3, and that's honestly depending on how much on the kind of the numbers metrics of this game, that could be quite a bit. So it's, but then I went on to, well, I'm only going to use d6s then, but d6s, that increases the maximum by a ton. So if you roll really well and you have a level 3 arm, that's 18.
My level 3 arm.
Oh, my level 3 arm.
Oh, my level 3 arm.
The arm noble.
I thought that's a good roll into my question.
Yeah.
I said, Well, what I wrote randomized enhancements. I don't remember what that means.
Mutations, maybe? Is that...
Maybe it
Oh, yeah,
was going off
mutations?
of mutations, but like with like the enhancements and shit, and if things can like, what's the extent of things can just happen to you, maybe. But under that, it's I wrote limited to like what is there a limit to the like enhancements that you can get? Is it like per number per level kind of thing, or X number of levels you have to be able to get a thing? So it's like every like 5 level you can get a thing.
So
Where you have like the ability to activate your thing.
Yeah, so this system doesn't use levels. I know I said like level 3 arm, but
but you
so
lie.
I'm sorry. I'm still not entirely sure. I'm thinking I'm going to base it off of kind of what you were exposed to. So a minor amount of radiation will only like there's kind of tiers for your mutations. So you only get tier 1 radiation poisoning. So that only you roll like a D10 and you only have the ones from tier 1 mutations. But if you fall into a pit of glowing purple slag that is worth tier 3 mutations, then you'll gain one from tier 3, or I might do a thing where you can get maybe 2.
Trying to think if I have anything else. It's just like, wow, this shit cool, this shit crazy.
Damn, that shit cool.
Damn. What the hell?
Wow.
Yeah, I like your concept on, what did you call them? The outsiders and the stranger? The scavengers. So I like those concepts. Like,
yeah, I watched Mad God recently, and oh my, it was so cool, and it was a huge kind of inspiration, especially for the outsider.
Also, anytime someone talks about organ harvesting, I'm thinking of fucking Repo Man.
oh god,
Yeah.
no,
yeah,
I'm out.
Repo Man.
Peace, goodbye.
It's been so many years since I've seen that. I should watch that again.
It's been so many years since
that
I've seen him. I should text
Musical
him.
brings up bad memories.
I
I'm
should
leaving.
text him.
me staring at a disemboweled cadaver. I should text him.
I should call him.
God.
It's been too long. I think that's just cute. I think this is cute.
Thank you.
I think this is neat.
What's that?
I think this is neat.
No, thank you.
A spiky. I like it.
Oh, I like it.
I like it. I have no more questions.
Okie dokie.
I have an
Yeah.
unrelated question, actually.
Okay.
What's that?
A brief break to use the restrooms
Agreed.
and to refill water.
Not a question, but sure.
It's a
Sure.
fine. A request.
Okay. May you
Fine.
use the bathroom?
May I? I'm gonna make the whiteboard big on my screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
No, I think it's epic.
Everything sounds solid.
Can't wait to see what you come in here with next time.
Yay!
Next month. Next month. Next month, whenever that is.
Whenever next month is.
That's
might be a
next
little
year.
later in
next,
the month.
Next month is
because-
next year.
Yeah, might be a little later in the month because holiday.
That's fine. That gives us more
So-
time to do stuff. It gives us more time to work on
2025
things.
year of
2025, year of the lock-in and get shit done.
2025, the year of us posting the first parts of our projects. I mean, what?
The
oh,
what?
fucking Christ. Oh god.
I don't think I can
hold
post.
Pal. I can hold Pal to that one.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think
God,
that-
no.
I don't think I can do
really,
that.
I really don't think. I
No.
really don't think I'm gonna get anything
I
like
can
that
hold- no.
done in time for submission to like Mice 2025. I think I might.
I think
think-
you
You know
can
what?
have a little introductory comic done for Mice.
I think I can. I think I
I
can
think
at
you can
least.
give us an intro for Mice.
I think I can at least rework Lido.
Lido printed on vellum.
You know
Yes.
what you guys
Good
can
job.
hold
Did
me
you-
to?
Mm.
Writing query letters for the first time in my life. So, so,
What's a
but yeah, I think that's the
Right.
go me. I think that's the only thing you can hold me to. I don't think I can. So, holding me to writing a query letter for the first time and
What is
maybe finishing the Beasts of the Wilds. So.
Beasts
Bebo
of the
Wilds?
But
Bebo
that's a
Wilds.
big if. Like, I have it plotted, I can't promise that it'll be finished. So. A query letter is when you write a letter to, what are they called?
Publisher?
Publishers, agents, that's what they're.
Agent.
You write query letters to agents in order to present and, pitch your book to them so they can sell it to a publisher.
Hmm.
So, that, or I can self-publish, or I don't want to go through a vanity press. I don't have the money for that. So,
Mhm.
self-publishing, though, is all me. So, but, yeah, the most I can promise is maybe having a book done, but I can't promise that. So,
La la la. I'm just gonna draw some Amelias now.
I was looking for the outline, and I think I found it. I think the
Also,
reason
you
why
should all watch Bad God if you have a chance. Please, God, watch
I
Bad God.
think
watched
I'll throw up.
M-
I saw the
MJ.
trailer and I was so fucking queasy by the end of it.
I will maybe put it on the list. I
It's-
cannot promise anything. I watched 10 movies yesterday.
I have
I
no
don't know
doubt
what
that
was
it's
wrong
peak.
with
I have
me.
no fucking doubt that it's peak. I also don't have any doubt that I'm gonna fucking throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. There is one scene that it was especially
I will admit I did just find the outline for Beasts of the Wilds, and as I was looking over it just now, I realized that the reason why I probably haven't written this one is because the ending pisses me off. I don't know.
okay.
I don't know how to fucking end it. So like I get to a certain point in the outline and I go, all right, all this is solid. What do I do? How do I end this? So, and all the notes after that point are like, I don't know, man. How do you solve a problem that doesn't get solved? So, oh yeah.
Hmm. Much to consider.
I can give you the two main locations it takes place in,
Yes.
and that is the valley,
the gloopy sloopy womp
a
swamp.
little bit outside of the valley,
The Glooby
and
Slooby Womp Swamp.
and the city of Katona. So those are the two primary locations. I do have a short story written.
La la la. Oh, shouts out to I a friend of mine was doing like short writing commissions, and I did actually commission them to do
Bless
like
them.
a little wild magic thing. and I got it a little bit ago. I might do comic practice off of it. Who knows? Who knows? It's something. That's out to Maria.
You know, another thing I realize is the best times to keep me accountable for getting shit done is the months of June, July, and August.
The summer.
That's because I don't have
Right, yeah, you got nothing else going on.
So I'm doing nothing, and I have time. So this week it's not optimal because I am both working and subbing and so much stuff done in the evening. So if I can get the last book blurb done before the end of the week, I will be blessed. So I did watch like 8 to 10 movies yesterday. I don't know what was wrong with me.
My arm hurts.
Yeah.
I watched Kubo and the Two Strings. So that was on my mind.
Ubo and the Ubo.
I watched Easy A for the umpteenth time. American Psycho and Sing. And then a bunch of others. I thought American Psycho was the movie I was looking for. I was wrong. It was just Psycho that I was looking for. American Psycho. Yeah. I will say this with my full chest on stream. American Psycho disappointed me. I did not like it.
Damn, alright. Yeah, okay. Let's dig into that a little bit. Let's dig into that a little bit. What
I am a film student. I am a film student who people push movies upon me, and they go, "These movies are the greatest thing known to man," and I go, "All right, bet I'll watch them," and then I'll be like, "I don't know, guys."
Don't base your opinion off of what film majors think.
Yeah, never base your opinion off.
I never did, and I never will. And I learned that lesson. I learned that lesson very early on because I think sophomore year was the year that Hereditary came out.
Hello.
And all my classmates. Hello. No.
I know you fell asleep in it. I know you fell asleep in it, and I disagree. I enjoyed Hereditary.
I'd take Midsummer over Hereditary any day.
Damn.
What I missed?
Hot take.
I went downstairs and broke a plate.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. Just for fun? Just for fun?
I miscalculated distance.
Oh!
It was only a little chip, but like, you know, it's ceramic.
It's still a chip.
Yeah, a little chip on ceramic is like, I think you're done.
I didn't miss much. Just
water's gonna get all in that.
Yeah.
My hot takes as a former film student. Oh. I said American Psycho wasn't good.
It's confusing.
I have never watched
it. It is confusing.
And
Don't watch it.
I know that's the point. And before everyone fucking eats me alive, I know that's the point.
I know Crow likes it. But I don't think that's surprising.
I just like Christian Bale's fucking wild deliveries in it. Why isn't it possible, you stupid bastard?
Yeah, the moments in time where he acts a little insane, I go, good acting. I'm like, nice. Other times I'm like, what the hell am I watching? My mistake. I was looking for Psycho, ended up watching American Psycho.
Wow.
My mistake, guys.
My mistake.
Oops,
I watched the wrong one.
I like the idea that you were sitting through the entire runtime of American Psycho going like, when does Hitchcock show up?
No, I was looking for the scene where the lady gets murked in the shower. Do I have the right movie?
Like, what am I watching right now?
And it never happened, and I went, I'm out. I'm done. So,
what is this?
Uh-oh. Then I looked it up and it said, yeah, you got the wrong movie. You were looking for Psycho. Not American Psycho. Psycho. And I went, And then I proceeded to go watch Easy A and Sing, and Ubo and the Two Strings and crap ton of other
My
movies
God.
that just got thrown in there yesterday, and I was like, oh, what's
You're
going on
like,
in my head?
fuck it, let's watch them all.
Oh yeah, I just put it on. What it was is there's a bunch of movies leaving the streaming platform soon, and I was just like, just watch them all, cue them, let's go. So I was like, I'm never gonna look for these again. So get them done. Anyway, we have
Doctor
one
says
last
he loves
project.
Sing.
Doctor says I watched it. I cried again.
I saw.
I don't-
There's a second one, isn't there?
There's a second one, and I am
Yeah.
going to go watch that. So
I haven't seen Sing 2. I've seen Sing 1.
Sing.
I went
I
into
haven't
I went
seen
into
either.
I went into Sing 1 being like, well, this is going to be a stupid little Illumination movie, and I'm going to watch it for fun and meet it fucking halfway, try and give it
man,
a chance
were
that
we
it wants,
wrong?
and
Meet it
I walked
where
out
it
there
is.
going like, all right, yeah, okay, caught me a couple times, yeah,
Yeah, all right.
all right, cool.
Watch the first one. Parents refused to watch the second one unless it's. Oh.
Yeah, see, it seems like
Aw,
for some reason
yeah.
nobody really watched the second one.
Which is
Well,
weird because in
I
my
understand
opinion, the first one
the
was okay.
sentiment.
Yeah,
Some movies are good
Watching
to
it
watch
with
by
your
yourself. That is
watching
true.
the first one with your parents and wanting to wait to watch it. Yeah.
yeah, I've been there.
Maybe it got bad. Maybe the what do you call it? The publicity or
Oh, it got like no marketing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
bad
had really
marketing.
bad marketing, but what I've seen a few people talk about it and they think it's good, so.
Mm-hmm. We still gotta.
You know what I want to watch? Bad Guys 2.
I know,
I know, Bad
man.
Guys
I need it.
Listen,
I need
I
it.
never
watched,
saw
the, I,
number
watched the
one.
I watched the trailer on the train to work, and I was like, oh.
Uh-oh. It's got ladies in it.
Also, we still have to force everyone else to watch The Wild Robot.
I am
wanted to
working
go
on
see it,
it,
and everyone
okay?
got to see it. I didn't get to go see it.
I am working on it. I figured out a way to stream it through Discord. I am working on it. Once I get it, I will let everybody know, and we will have a movie night.
Yay!
They-
I will stream it for
They-
everybody because I
They-
plan on buying it. I just don't have the money to buy it at the moment. So
Wild Robot was epic. I want to see it.
it
You're
has made
gonna
me
see it.
cry multiple times, and I think my mom rented it on Thanksgiving. I watched it once, twice, 3 times within 2 days, and I went, yes, I love this movie. I cried every time.
I still think
So.
about it, man.
I think about it every single day, pal.
It's
So-
good. It's good.
I never think about it.
It makes me
never
think. It
think.
makes me think about Wild Magic.
I never think.
I never
It made me think about
never
wild magic. So
Queen never cry.
Queen never cry.
Queen never
that's the
cry.
other thing. I've
never
just been
think.
Harry never cry.
in
Too
between.
Very.
In between all the movies, I was watching what's that anime? Don Da Don.
Whatever that fucking thing is.
Yeah, whatever the hell that new anime show that I haven't watched anime in like 6
Whatever that new
years.
Fang Dangle
So-
show is.
So,
Fandangled show.
it's good.
Hold on, the feet of the
Man.
whiteboard on the stream is frozen.
Oh no.
Fandangled.
Sorry, I clicked off it.
Oh,
Come back to us.
There we go.
It's back.
It's fine.
Can I
Guys,
not
okay.
have... Okay, so I guess I have to prearrange things. Because is it frozen now?
No, it's
No, I
running.
got
now.
it.
Interesting.
That's odd.
Odd. That's weird. What was I gonna
Odd.
open? Sheets. No.
Uh,
Slides.
your fucking presentation, perhaps.
So I don't have a presentation.
Okay.
Um,
But you got some like rambling points.
I have words to say.
Okay.
Bring me to slides. I want. These are funny. Wait. Wait a minute.
Hold on just a
Hey,
second.
gosh darn second.
Wait a second.
I don't like that you can't zoom out Using your
What?
mouse on Milano.
You
What?
can zoom out.
On
Oh,
Milano.
Oh, well, not
no.
using
On
your
Milano.
Milano's weird.
It's annoying.
You can zoom out anywhere you want.
Did I write anything on Milano?
I'm not Sam Reich. I'm not using that phrasing. It's time to zoom out. Nope, get out of here.
Did I write anything in this, or is it just empty? It's just empty. The only thing I have in here is the fuck OSHA on my homie's tie at work.
Whoa.
What the hell, man?
Real.
I think you should watch. I think you should watch the movie Annihilation if you haven't seen it already.
Oh.
I already know about the movie Annihilation, and that has been added to the list.
It is so incredibly good.
Yeah.
I with the
It's so fucking weird.
Spotify, calm down. With the number of clips, I might as well have watched the movie Annihilation already.
Me with a bajillion movie. It's me with Mean Girls. I've seen so many clips.
I've
Might
seen
as
so
well
many
have watched the
pieces
movie.
of it that I might as well
Have
have
I
watched
seen the
it.
movie technically? No.
Trust me,
Did
there's
my
still weirder stuff in it.
Did my students the other day look at me like, you haven't seen that movie? And I went, yeah. By
How do I-
choice.
What,
Slides.
Mean Girls?
Yeah.
.com.
I saw the better version.
It is a
Heathers.
classic. I haven't seen
Why
it
does
either.
Google hide the existence of slides?
What?
I don't know.
Fucking, I just go.
I
To,
can
just
always
go to
find
your
it.
Google Drive. Just go to your Google.
You have to go
Drive,
to your
dude.
Google Drive
Oh.
to get to it, but you can't just type in slides on Google and it show everything else you can, but it doesn't want it to exist. It doesn't show it up when you do it.
Yeah, their own service.
All it
has
gave me
very
was
poor
slides.
SEO.
All it gave me was the shoes slides with the Google Slides logo on it.
It just
My former
their
landlord
own.
was shocked to learn that I haven't seen Mean Girls. Like, you're a gay person and you haven't seen Mean Girls?
Oh,
Damn.
stamps.
Good lord.
Damn.
I've seen
Wow.
Heathers.
My landlord doesn't
Oh,
know.
ew.
my
Technically,
fucking
hate
Technically,
Heathers.
the version that came before Mean Girls.
I can't
So-
stand. I'm sorry, I can't stand Heather.
Classic
It's a
Winona
great
Ryder.
movie. I just can't watch it.
It's too heavily associated with my college freshman year now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like
That's
my-
the movie I would love to know.
That's when all the
Oh.
fucking animatics were coming out from the
It's because
musical.
that's when the musical came out.
Yeah, that's when making animatics for musicals was like the big thing that everyone was doing.
Yeah. What do I want? I'm trying to find. I need things. I need something. There's something I'm looking for, and I need to.
Imagery?
Yup.
Notes.
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 Find them. Yeah, find it.
I'm trying. I'm gonna have so many tabs open, and you're not gonna see any of it. No. Oh my god. So it doesn't bring you to slides because apparently slides is under docs.
Okay. Slides is a
Interesting.
Docs product now.
There it is.
Bid me a Chegg service.
Okay. And then. Oh my god. Oh. Okay.
Don't die, motherfucker.
Don't die on us now. Okay.
Got this.
Okay. So, we're gonna screen share.
Hey.
I can't wait.
Fuck, how do you... Hold on. I can do this. I know how to use Discord.
We all say on a daily basis. I know how to use
Share
Discord.
audio. Yes. Yes. Hello, welcome to my YouTube video we're gonna listen to. Yes, we're gonna look at pretty space pictures while I talk, because that's what we're gonna talk about. Yippee. Yippee! I'm now... Hold on, where the fuck Where are we?
I ask myself that every day.
Where am I? Who are you?
People!
Who are you people?
Where am I?
Why are you on
What's
the
going
computer
on?
screen? Oh my god. Okay. So we're not gonna talk about the thing that we talked about last time. We're not gonna talk about Paradox. We might a little bit at the end because I guess I did work on it, but it's in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any physical things to show for it. I do have very horrible handwritten notes on my Millinote for it. Where basically it's the start of me writing down the entire plot timeline that I already have figured out. That's what I did for thinking about that instead of working on characters or anything. I went, where's the story gonna go? And then I had a brain blast and went, oh, that's how you make that make sense.
Brain blast.
So I know how that's supposed to go, except for like the very last little bit. And a lot of it is that's what we get to the spoilers territory.
Mm-hmm.
So instead we're gonna talk about the other little project ahead, which we only talked about the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That we did this. That was just Pal and I.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna share my PowerPoint for it because there's literally no information in my PowerPoint. It's just a joke. The PowerPoint that I made for it is just a joke, and also something that I made to have on the screen when I talked about notes in my brain. There is literally a point in it where it just goes, "What's the theme?" And then it lists sci-fi, futuristic, mystery, and then the next side says cosmic horror, and then there's like 3 slides of it saying cosmic horror. So that's how that PowerPoint is.
Cosmic horror? Cosmic horror?
Cosmic horror? Yeah, cosmic horror. It is a it's called I don't know, I keep changing the name every single time I talk about it.
Changing it ever so slightly.
I change it every so slightly. Currently, it's called If Anyone Is Listening.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps changing to variations of that depending on how I feel is the better version of the same sentence any given day. But currently it's called If Anyone Is Listening. It is a podcast idea. Because verbal storytelling.
Yes.
It is, as I said, sci-fi, futuristic. Mystery is a very big part of it. Cosmic horror and existential horror. Which, I don't know, I've been told I'm pretty good at, so we'll see. We'll see. It is basically, let's see. This is when I go back to Discord because I typed out a summary to MJ. And I can just read it from that. Let's see. Oh, most of it was in a voice note, but I did write down half of it. It is a story that is following a single character, whose name I also keep changing based on whichever I feel is the better one at the moment. Currently I think I'm gonna go with Luella.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, yeah. The only thing I have is that I want to have kind of like an odish sounding name. So Luella is what we're doing right now. It is a story that is following Luella as she tries to survive, basically, is the short of the long of it.
Mm-hmm.
She is a lab assistant, to a biotech oh my god, what's the word? Help.
Researcher.
Thank you. Biotech researching team that has been sent to a planet to study basically everything about it. The flora, the fauna, how it functions, chemical component, everything like that. Just to kind of get an understanding of how basically an alien planet is functioning. And it is, again, there's flora and fauna. It's a populated planet. There's stuff there, populated in a sense that there isn't like there's animals and stuff, but there's no sapient life. There's no alien people. Important. And she works for this company that, thanks to MJ's big brain smart help, company is Daedalus. So Daedalus is a space exploration company, basically, that are studying planets to understand how life has adapted there and how the planets function. Here on this planet, which is... Oops, wrong tab. Carceri. There is multiple outposts that are established around it in different biomes and locations to understand and study different little things and how stuff works in different parts of the planet. They have been sending crews there for years to study, and Luella is part of this research expedition as a lab assistant going on this one mission. Through means that are slowly revealed throughout the beginning of the story, the rest of her crew has died. And the station that they're posted at is broken, comms do not work, nothing is functioning anymore. And because of how the stations are placed in different biomes and stuff, there is no people around her for thousands of miles. So her options are essentially to sit and wait and try to figure out how to get things working and try to get the comms working and try to get help, or try to get some safe means to travel to one of these other locations. That's spoilers. I'm not going to read that part. But ew. Yeah. That's kind of where the existential shit comes in. Because she is trapped alone on this planet, essentially. Forever fuck away from anybody else. And has no way of contacting any of them. Most of my thinking has been about the mechanics of the world and everything, because I am quite fond of having things, especially since it's supposed to be a sci-fi story, and she is supposed to be a scientist. Having things at least semi-based in actual science and stuff, to the point that I was texting my coworker who's like getting his master's in biology and was asking him questions. So we've thought a little bit about this planet. Apparently I closed my tab. What the hell? Give me that back. Hold on 1 second.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da. La 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 la. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Make a little noise.
Okay, sorry.
Ugh.
What were we talking about?
Your
Kaiseri.
planet. The planet, yeah.
Yeah. Kaiseri. So doing a lot of thinking. I started it with just the thoughts of I want it to be weird. The criteria that I have is I want it to be weird color. I like megafauna. I like megaflora. But I like bioluminescence. That was my criteria. So working off of that, to have strange colors, we have to either change chemical components of things or change the star. Easy part is changing the star. If we do a star that's like a little bit cooler, we can get funny colors in plants and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, what is it? I have one of the things I was looking at. If we have like a K0 star, we could have funny red plants. We could have red plants and like fuchsia colors. Could be very fun. Like it would be easier to go cooler than warmer, probably. We also can get pretty fun colors. We want to do like brighter. What does it say? An F8 star could do bright folic colors and like blue green being very, very pigmented and bright. So it'd be like brighter colors. I just kind of have to figure out which way I want it to go. I just know funny colors. Change the star. You have to change where the planet is a little bit to be in a habitable zone, but that's not too much work. Other thing, hypotheticals that I was talking to in front about is we were talking about increasing the amount of copper on the planet and putting a shit ton of copper in water.
Oh.
So, because it is an alien planet, so things don't have to abide by our versions of toxicity.
That's true. That's
our
true.
sense of livability and stuff like that. Which is a big part of it is I don't want this planet to be nice to humans. I don't want humanoid life to be able to just walk around freely on it. So we were talking about copper, and he was telling me about how basically like dissolving and shit, which basically we would turn the water a nice green color because we would have a lot of copper. It would make everything very highly acidic, and to us would be highly toxic, but it'd be very nice green. There'd be a lot of malachite formations everywhere, especially like on the bottom of the ocean. There would be like bands of malachite and like striations of malachite in rocks and stuff. So, which I think malachite is very pretty, so I'm not too opposed to this. I'm very fond of that. Another thing is on the topic of like megafauna and things like that is gravity. And if we lessen the gravity a little bit, then that makes us able to make things be bigger. And what is it? I think the thing I was looking at earlier says if we change it to like 80% of Earth's gravity, that's enough for things to be big, but the planet still be in the range of like reasonably having like a molten iron core and being hot and shit. So it'd be like that. Makes sense for have big animal. I mean like big animal. Bioluminescence, I like it, so it's just gonna have it. I like it because it's just gonna have it, and also I think
Or
reasonably
they-
it would make sense if we have a dimmer star, if things had their own little glowy bits. If there's less light, make more light. You
Yeah.
know? And I think a planet having a high amount of copper on it would, and like being accessible in a sense, would kind of make it be a place that companies would want to get to. Um, you know, do a little mining, be a little awful. But yeah, make a little place, have little things. I like aminos and stuff like that. Which reasonably it is in a audio format, so I don't have to think about things too much other than what's get like verbally shared. But consider it fun to think about. I like to know things. I would like to know things about the place. And I can't really talk much about the story of it because it is a mystery. It is something where things are supposed to be revealed slowly to you. But it does very much lead into cosmic horror and things like that. As we talked about Annihilation earlier, and I said it's added to the list, that list being my list of I guess like inspo things, which previously consisted of Interstellar, The Martian, Lost in Space, in Subnautica, and now Annihilation is on there. If that gives you any kind of sense of what this story is gonna be like. There is the thought of having like later on little like flashback pieces of when crew did exist, because most of it is just Luella by herself. And also we talked about this the first time, pal. An AI from the ship that has to get fixed and brought back online.
Right, yeah.
Not in the sense of like can hold a conversation with you, but in the sense of like Subnautica, where it just like tells you vitals and shit or information that you tell it to tell you. Where you're like, hey, what's this thing? And it's like, oh, pull up the file now. It says this for you. It's like, cool, thanks. Yeah, it's just generally things like that. Do have the outline basically, like the outline story progression thought out, but again, those are secrets. I can't tell you that. It was to ruin the mystery. God,
It's Seacrest.
that's
It's
Seacrest. I can't tell you about those things because then you would know about the secrets. I wanted you to know about the secrets.
I think we need to have a call not on stream where we can spill
Yeah,
the
we
secret.
need to have a non
Because I need to spill secret.
recorded fucking.
I mean, it can
fucking-
still be recorded. It's just not live stream. Like I would
Yeah, we
record
need-
it just for purposes of
we
if
need
we
a-
say
we need a-
something that's
having
important.
audio notes.
Yeah,
We
audio
need a
notes.
bean spillers night.
A Bing.
Yes, please. I need a
We
bean
need
spillers
bean-
night for Christ's sake.
Brains.
Yeah, we
So-
need bean spillers night.
Because I feel like that's the only way.
Okay, what's
In
everybody
my
doing tomorrow
opinion-
night?
That's the only. What am I doing
Tomorrow
tomorrow
night?
night? I have therapy
Fuck,
and then
maybe.
I'm free. So.
Maybe,
Probably be
I
feel like
free
that's the-
by 8 or 8:30.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only way, in my opinion, that you develop more things more is when you spill the beans and bounce ideas.
Oh shit.
So we need to have a beans night. That's what it's
We have a
Beans
beans night.
night. Beans night.
The bean spillers club. Um. Okay. In terms of okay, I have one more to add to your watch list for
Okay.
for this thing,
Nice.
and I'm not really sure where you get it anymore because I don't know if it got taken down already. But Scavenger's Reign,
Scavengers, you brought that up last time for
I
MJ.
yeah, and I double bring it up for you because in terms of like, hey, you're stranded on a world completely alien and hostile to human life and made up of some weird ass fucking like cosmic horror bullshit sometimes. I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen it yet, but in terms of the clips I have seen of it, I think Scavenger's Reign might add to your thing a little bit.
Oh,
May I add another recommendation?
yes, please write them down.
Sure.
Put them in the chat somewhere.
So number one, if you haven't seen Alien, you should watch it. Simply because
Aliens.
Alien is great in terms of how it portrays uh, corporate greed and more specifically corporate abandonment.
Mm.
How like, oh, things are starting to go wrong. Well, let's talk to the company. Let's talk to our computer that the company gave us to solve all our problems. Looks like the computer has new orders and no longer cares if we live or die. Great.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna pull up the PowerPoint briefly.
Also, it's pretty slow, but a really weird sci-fi movie that does kind of delve into existential creepiness is Solaris.
Mm.
Not the new one with George Clooney.
No,
The
I know
old
which
one
one
in
you're
Russian.
talking about.
No, not the one with George Clooney. The old one. The old one.
I've seen the old one, the
Russian.
Russian one. Yeah.
The old Russian Clooney.
Where is it? There it is. We're opening, we're going. No! Fool.
No.
Oh, please.
Fool.
She's like a wet cat.
That's her
I like that
playlist.
title.
That's
That's a
her
good
playlist.
title.
I want this. There we go. Oh, I have to change this other thing now. I have to change.
I'm realizing I don't have a lot of space movie knowledge.
There we go. Yeah, just do this so you can show the playlist.
Alien is also.
Yeah, we'll just show the playlist.
Alien is also great because of how, like how it talks about time. Because, like, though there is faster than light travel, it's not like rift warping where you can just be at one end of the galaxy in a day. Like, even with FTL travel in this world, it takes like 6 years to get from, the nearest livable system to back to Earth. So, like, there's moments where people will be like, "Oh, we'll put in a call to corporate. Yeah, don't worry, it'll only take 8 months for them to receive the message, and then it'll take another 8 months for them to send a response message. So we have about 16 months in the meantime." And it's just like awful. It's so horrible.
Jeez.
What? But yeah. So this is her playlist.
A good playlist.
This is the new pieces that have been added to her playlist.
Playlist.
My way. I love that.
You'll learn about that in Bean Spilling Night.
Bean spilling night.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. You put up an image of the Truman Show, and I went, ah. So,
Not good at subtlety.
So. Me?
No.
Listen, subtlety isn't necessary here. Sometimes you gotta fucking wear what it's about on the sleeve.
No,
No. Okay.
not in a mystery story, you bitch.
Not a fucking mystery. Listen.
Dumbass.
Listen.
No.
Listen.
No.
I have 2 questions, which I think we talked about a long time ago when you first brought this up. Because you did message me about it, so I do know a little bit about this. Again, that was a long time ago, though.
Watch what you say.
The 2 questions I had were, are these being recorded as audio journals?
Yes.
Okay.
It is in the format of let me pull up that other thing. My freaking desk is annoying me. Hold on. Where's my tab? Who texted me? Nobody. It's the weather.
Yay!
It's the weather app talking to me. Put that back to that. It's a full-size screen, but I don't know why it makes it small.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. My neck just cracked.
Congratulations.
Yay! I don't think that was a good crack.
Congratulations.
All I did was lean back.
Let me out. It's stuck in the PowerPoint.
No!
Free me! Yes, so it is in... Oh, it's not even in my fucking tab. Okay. There it is. It is in video journal format, basically, where it starts with her recording / hoping it's getting broadcasted messages on the system that's in the station, and slowly will, as she gets the supplies and gets things fixed and such, change into like on the go attempted broadcasts on like handheld devices and stuff. So where it's basically the opening of it is her trying to get the comms, like after thinking that she got the comms working again, trying to use it, which is where it has a name drop right in the very first paragraph of it, because I have that written down, which is she tries to get it working, so it's like static and like clicking noises and shit, and it's just like, hello, I don't know if this is working correctly, but this red light should mean that it's at least recording. Oh my god, I can't read my own handwriting. Even if the broadcast isn't getting out. So if you're listening, this is Luella, whatever her fucking last name is, lab assistant to name for Daedalus, away on a research expedition to Kasiri, and I'm the last one left.
Nice. Solid intro. You answered a little bit of my second question, which was just wanted to know your thoughts on like soundscape and sound design. But
I love doing that shit. Have you not watched my little videos that I've made?
I've watched all of them.
Have you seen my little videos? My little trailer videos. I love playing with sound.
Wonderful.
God, have you not played D&D with me? I love it.
What are you thinking about sound? Like, how do you want to design it? You think me just poking at your brain. So.
Little staticky. It's broken machinery. Once
again, alien.
It's background noise. It's not a lot happening, there's a part where background sound is very important. That is like the catalyst to scene change.
Those are the moments that I want. So
And maybe I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
bean spill night.
Yeah, I like the idea of like, you know, if you do the audio editing just right, especially with something that's kind of a mystery, having those things where on a second listen through you go like, oh fuck.
I love those moments.
Yeah, sound is going to be very important. The way that things sound specifically is going to be very important. I don't know, tomorrow will be fun if we do bean spilling night and I get to tell you everything about this. It made Marcus look at me and go, what the fuck? So
oh hell yeah.
Hey, you want to know what's a great? You can go.
No, go ahead. I just have to like I'm not good at suggesting movies because I don't know a lot of space movies, but there's two podcasts that came to mind. So
I think a great is those little orb shaped kind of fruits that you get a bowl of. They grow on the vine. Greats. You can get purple or green ones.
I like purple grapes.
Yeah, purple grapes are
red
nice.
Grapes, no seeds, red grapes.
Yeah, seedless red
really
grapes.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like source of sound for technology is dot matrix printers.
Oh,
they made so many horrendous sounds back in the day. Just a jungle of just an audio jungle of horrendous, just cranking and spitting and sputtering and clicking sounds.
As a noise
looking to have
myself.
an analog kind of future where everything's kind of noisy and clacky, dot matrix printers are so good.
If you ever need help on little noises and effects audio, it's one of the only bits of audio editing that I really enjoy.
I love noises and shit like that.
Foley and shit, I can do that. I love that.
Yeah. Maybe you can, poke at it.
I can only attest to I have built a podcast for a class once, and that was it. So.
I love playing with noises and audios and things. I do it quite often. I do it quite weekly, maybe.
There's one podcast though that is like science based that I was thinking of. If you wanted to check it out, it's very short. It's the Red Valley.
I'll start barking at you. I know what you're gonna say.
What?
No podcast mentions. I know you were gonna say that.
The second suggestion? So, no, the first one is Red Valley.
No, I know that. I know that's what you were gonna say.
God damn it!
I thought you were talking about the second one. I'm not gonna mention the second one. You'll yell at me.
I'll push you down the stairs.
Despite the fact that it's 10 times better than the first. So.
I'll push you down the stairs. No comparisons.
I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying.
Listen, sometimes you do gotta look at what's already out there to get a sense for what can be done.
MJ. I can't bark.
I don't even know what Red Valley is.
My mom went to bed. I can't bark right now.
I don't even know what Red Valley is.
Very polite.
It's a short podcast.
Science experiment podcast. Cryogenics.
Oh, cool.
If I said the word correct.
It does not interest me.
I do not have any interest in this.
I do not have interest in that one.
Legit, though. La la.
Why is this? Where is there no noise? Hello?
Yeah.
radio has stopped giving noise.
No.
There it is.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can
What
open
else?
my mail note for the other one if you want. Just look at
Okay.
that.
Hold on, I want to think about it a little more.
Okay, you
Um.
think we'll sit in it more while I'll pull it up and have it ready.
Okay. Um. Huh. It. It's tough to write out like kind of survival story mystery type things because there's very much an element of like problem solving, which is difficult because you also have to invent the problem.
Mhm.
That I'm interested to kind of see how you look to
there's a
overcome
big problem.
that. There's a big problem,
There's
but
a
also
big problem that'll make itself known.
Well, yeah, there's a big problem, but I'm talking small problems.
Oh, there's a lot of small problems too. She's a lab
Mhm.
assistant. She's not an engineer.
Yeah, she's a lab assistant. She's not an engineer. She
She's not
doesn't
made for
have.
this.
Yeah, she's not made for this, and that is a very interesting, a very tough thing to write. It's like, okay, how do they go about learning what they need to learn?
I know how to write girl failures.
Yes, but how do you give the girl failure a win? This is the tough moment.
Question of the century.
Question of the century. Girl failure
How
needs
do
a
you
win.
give girl failure gets a win? Headline title.
Girl failure gets a win. How do you make that win feel earned? Like that's why I suggested The Martian in the past, because like it is very much a story about, okay, I don't have all the knowledge I need to survive this. So it's as much like a puzzle of, okay, how do I actually like get the knowledge that I need, as well as, okay, how do I use what I do know to the most advantage that I can? How do I
Daring
learn without being an
into
expert?
spoilers territory.
Spoiler.
It is not as big as a problem as you think.
Okay.
These are established stations. It's not like she's in a little shuttle that has landed. These are like established things that people. I think International Space Station, but it's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica. It is a thing. It's there. It's established. People have been coming and going. The issue is that they are so far from each other, and that something has happened that has caused all of her crewmates to die. That you, I mean, quite quickly figure out. But I would like to not share that publicly.
Yeah.
Until it's happening.
Yeah.
And there is the issue lies more in getting technology working for comms than it does in surviving. Because they have been studying this planet. She is a biotech lab assistant. She knows their files and shit on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And has had access to that stuff, and like would have had to like study and shit before going there. It's not like going in blind. So it is very much the Martian, and having that knowledge of stuff already. It's more so her issue lies in trying to get a fucking radio to work.
Me oh my.
And other
And
things.
and other things.
And another very big thing.
And some other very big thing that we don't need to talk about now.
Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Maybe
in
we'll talk about it
secret.
tomorrow or some shit.
Now it's you guys. You guys don't get to know.
You
Sorry.
fuckers out there on the internet don't get to know this shit.
Wow. So rude.
You don't get to know all the hot goss.
I guess you just have to actually look at our projects when they get put
Yeah,
out.
I guess when they're you'll learn when it is released.
Mm-hmm.
Read and it shall be revealed to you.
Delve into the tomes for knowledge.
Got a
Yes.
multitude of media here, from podcasts to comics to books to games.
Hmm.
Have fun.
Any other questions on this? I take a no.
No,
None that I
no.
can think of.
no. Any other questions I have would be answered in the project.
Yeah.
So.
Hee 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 yeah.
This is definitely
Let's look
one
at
of
Millen
those.
out real quick.
Okay.
Throw it up there.
Okay. Bum. That was my spooky bad awful. My spooky bad awful project. Now we're gonna talk about my silly project. Maybe it's silly, I don't know. It's kind of not. There's kind of some awful things happening here also.
Silly enough
don't
to me.
worry about it, dude.
Dude, don't even worry
Don't
about
even
it.
worry about it. It's oh my god, why does it look so bad? Oh, edited. Oh no, I moved something.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, go away, go away. What is this? Go away. Other project. Paradox. We know all of this stuff. We know everything. We know her. Definitely. We don't need to go down this route again. This is still me. This is still the mood. This is me talking to Marcus the other day when I told him everything about the other project.
Mhm.
This is my new little thing here. My bubble. In my jar. In my jar. We have our little summary, which is just this is just copied and pasted from the PowerPoint. And I started typing out my handwritten notes, more detailed. And then I went, I hate this, and I stopped. But I'll go back to it at some point. But we still have Inzio, a small town at the end of one of the train lines that leads into Tovi, and that is the capital. Inzio is mainly a trade town where stock moves in and out of, so there is a lot of shops near the train line and warehouses and stuff. And it gets a lot of foot traffic of people coming in to put shit to bring into the city and shit like that. This is help. My handwritten notes.
Yay.
So basically, we start in Inzio with Josie and Soraya. Soraya is this is the introduction to the two of them, as the two make the main group. And basically, there's that whole thing about how Josie goes and hides in Soraya's shop. And her shop is kind of like an apothecary and perfumes shop. Which is important and why Josie hiding there works, because it's fucking smelly and there's a lot of things happening in there. And perfumes and smoke, and there's just a lot going on. And a big part of how Josie is hidden in there is that Sora is like, oh, oopsie, I'm such a klutz, and knocks over a massive pot of, like, smelly perfume oil. Which, when you're fucking being hunted by the dogs, is helpful.
Yeah. Super smellers.
Super smellers. So the head of the shop, after the team, oh my god, I still need to think of a word for their group. After the
Squad.
nope. After